Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Janice Daniels, and I am so proud to be here tonight, knowing that I live in America, a beautiful country with the greatest representative Republican form of government that the world has ever known. I'm pleased that we're having this open discussion about our budget priorities and my opposition to the tax and spend majority on this council. It's good to know that the likely worst thing that will happen to me is that certain council members and tax and spenders in the audience will slander my group and slander my good name. That's a small price to pay for freedom. Troy Citizens United has come forward with one idea after another for free. Ideas that are mirrored in the $200,000 taxpayer-funded independent report that you made us purchase. Councilman Howrelak reveals excess funds. His resolution is voted down because one of the highest-paid duplicate service members of our city management shuffled his papers around and said that the money had to be used for something else. But that something else couldn't be keeping our library open for one more year, which is a clear will of the majority. Councilwoman Beltramini said that the multi-year budget plan is a learning experience, and you five council members are prepared to sacrifice our library because of your learning curve? Attorney Blum said that because her written exaggerations weren't dispositive, it was okay to mislead the court? Survey the citizens. What do we want? Public comments are a survey of the people. Every single person in this city has the right to come before council month after month. They choose not to because they prefer to speak to you at the voting booth. Councilman Slater, what is it that you really want to know? You had 2 votes. That was your survey. What else do you think the people would say besides, we don't want our taxes raised, or they do want our taxes raised? We want smaller government. They want bigger government. We want our library open. We want truth in budgeting. We want public sector earnings packages equal to private sector. We want you to start at the margins and work your way inward when you cut out services, not go for the jugular, which is the library. We want across-the-board tax relief, not tax abatements for your friends and special donors. I want you to use the excess $1.7 million of unallocated funds that were found in your budget to pay for our library. I want you to use the $1 million that should be cut out of the top 19 earnings compensation packages to pay for our library. For the people who are willing to pay more taxes, just go do it. I'm willing to pay for a library card. I'm willing to do without the computer room, the bookstore, and all non-essential city services that can be found on your website. Councilwoman Kerwin, I know you received a copy of the memo from Manager Zerlig that instructed you to vote immediately for a $1 million increase without a vote of the people. Furthermore, the city sent out a flyer warning us of unsafe streets and lowered bond ratings. You expected us to accept that, but if something we sent out doesn't meet your interpretation of the truth, you suggest it's bogus. Your role in this council is not to denigrate citizens who believe differently than you do. I have another idea for you with regard to those 7 new positions that you say you have to fill. The ICMA report stated that you have a top-heavy management structure. I suggest you take 7 of the 19 overpaid top city employees and move them into the positions that are in need of support at the wage that those positions currently offer, not at their bloated compensation packages. And if they don't like these reassignments, we would welcome them into the private sector where they can join us in the stress of having drastically reduced incomes, not being able to change our jobs, not being able to afford vacations or the gas in our cars. We aren't even ever able to have the pensions and perks that have been afforded to our public servants. And we're also aware of your generous new golden parachute retirement packages. You know what, though? I say go ahead, close the library. That move will make it all the easier for us to defeat you in your next election. Just think of the advertising. Instead of using unallocated excess money, instead of eliminating top-heavy city management, instead of using department tax budgeting, instead of demanding across-the-board compensation cuts, instead of reducing repetitive services, instead of recognizing that elections and public comments are the will of the people. Councilpersons Kerwin, Slater, McGinnis, Beltramini, and Mayor Schilling all decided to ignore the clear will of the majority of Troy taxpayers, and they closed our library. This will be great. I'll see you in November.
We will address things after comments. I certainly have a lot to address on that one. Mr. Burt, did you wish to speak now?